All right, so let's start off. From BPDO Guerrero, we have the Executive Creative Director, Brandy Tan. Please, join us here. Time for a bit of Q&A. Also with us today from Leo Burnett, the Executive Creative Director, Raul Panes. From Lowe, President and Chief Creative Officer, Lay Reyes. And from DM9, Jaime Saifu, Chairman and Chief Creative Officer, Merly Jaime. Now these are the people who really will be able to tell us how this device has really made an impact on the way that they run their day-to-day stuff. And I know these people will be able to fill us in on how it's really made a difference for them. Let's start off with Brandy over here. Brandy, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
For starters, let's start off with this question. What is the biggest Eureka moment you've had so far? When you unbox the device?
Yeah. When I finally got.
I mean, you all of you actually work in an industry where creativity, seizing ideas as they come to you is really important. Tell us about that. What's the biggest Eureka moment you've ever had?
I think answering a brief is being able to answer it is always a Eureka moment. Maybe probably for me, it's that idea that became famous. So it would probably be the campaign we did for Buy and DSL.
Okay.
Where we had an old grandmother knowing how to be techy.
Okay. And those ideas, they come to you at all sorts of times of the day, at any time, anywhere. What's the weirdest place? What's the oddest place where an idea has come to you?
While I was in church, I was trying to listen to the priest, and the next thing you know, I was coming up with an idea for an ad. And then I guess that would be weird. I'd probably have to go to confession for that.
I think you'll be forgiven. Good ads are always worth a little bit of a sin or two. All right, now here's another question that I think is very appropriate for the moment. What if you were stranded at NAIA 1, which has been called the worst airport in the world of late? How would you maximize your time? What are some of the activities you would do? And I don't know, maybe if you had a device like this, like you do now, you could go ahead and just answer a creative brief right there and then.
Exactly, that's pretty much what I do when I'm at the airport. I'll probably look for coffee, decent coffee. Look for a place to sit and work with the Samsung Note, and especially with the business memo and all that, and with Wi-Fi at least, and maybe if I get bored working, also I can be surfing and or communicating with my friends.
I mean, there's that, isn't there? I mean, it's a mobile office, but it's also a mobile entertainment center. There's so much really you can do with the device. Technology moves at such a lightning pace nowadays, and if you're not able to adapt, it's a lot of natural selection. If you're not able to adapt, you die out. Can you think it's possible for people to still hold on and hold off adapting to the way technology has really become so pervasive in our lives? How important is being able to adapt to technology and how it's changing now?
I think it is possible to live without technology as long as all your friends don't have it. So if they're used to maybe waiting for snail mail, then it's okay. But
there's a certain elegance to that also. I mean, there's a time and place for all things, but the pace at which the world moves now, the way the nature of the business, the way it moves now, you have to sort of roll with the punches.
Yeah, you have to be quick, especially now. Especially when we come up with ideas, we definitely need to be up to date with everything really quickly. Sometimes when you come up with an idea, the other agency is already doing something very similar, and so you have to be really quick. So that's really important. The technology.
Okay, now I can see all of you playing with your devices over there. What's been the favorite feature for you on the Galaxy Note?
Would be the SM. I think the note, the pad where I can draw. Just being an art director.
Right. You come from an art background.
Yeah.
Visuals.
Draw things and you can email it to whoever needs to the writer and say, hey, look, I did this.
Use the computer, put a copy on that.
Yeah,
send it up.
it's usually the other way around. They write their copy first, then we spend all night working.
All right. Okay, cool. All right, that's great. We're gonna move on here and hear from Raul over here. Raul,
Hello.
take a moment. Shut off your device. All right. We want to know about the creative process for you. When again, Brandon said ideas come at any time of the day. Are you a morning person or an evening person? Do ideas often come first thing in the morning for you, or
There's really no schedule for ideas, but typically I get ideas during long drives. When I run.
Right.
It's those times when you're away from it much.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay, we want a little bit of a peek into your personal life here.
Personal life.
Yeah, your personal life. All right, here's a question for you. What specific object in your bedroom gives you inspiration to come up with brilliant ideas? What's your bedroom like anyway?
Pang person, syempre. Objects. I have lots of books in my bedside.
Right. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, you need to be constantly feeding, inspiration.
Yeah. I read a lot, so before I sleep, I browse a lot. You see things that can inspire you to do more work in the morning. Do as much as possible. I don't want to think about advertising.
Okay, you need to rest the battery, rest and recharge the batteries at some point. All right. Ideas come and ideas come at different times of the day. You said, or different places, different times, anytime, anywhere. Good ideas or bad ideas. Is there such a thing as a bad idea, or are all ideas valid? Do you think?
There are a lot of bad ideas. They're all over. But that doesn't mean they have to stay that way. I mean, bad ideas
Can start as a bad idea and eventually become a good idea.
We do that a lot. We get a lot of ideas from our teams, and I would say 90% of them are bad.
Well, that's the job of the creative director.
You evolve the ideas, and then some of them come up really great.
Okay, in line with evolving those ideas, developing those ideas, how important a role has technology played in the development of those ideas? How easy is it to take a bad idea or a raw idea, if we'll call it that, and rework it, and how much easier has it become because of the advantages that technology has to offer now?
Yeah, everything's easier now. As we all know, research for one is so fast.
Yeah.
It's also easy to spot something that has been done before. When in our field, we want to do ads that haven't been done before or go on before. So it's in a way it limits your options, but at the same time it disciplines you to think sharper and do better things.
Cool. All right, and in terms of using that technology to your advantage, what's been the standout feature for you? You've had a chance to live with the Galaxy Note for a while now. What's been the feature that's been most useful to you in terms of work and out of work?
I like the S Pen. Medyo old school naman. In the sense that I would walk around
a piece of paper. I have to agree. I'm sort of the same. I know we're not talking about me here, but I mean, I feel the same way. But it really has sort of technology has found a way to marry the very analog way that I tend to put down ideas, and you're saying that you're sort of the same way.
It's so much easier now to take down notes or.
Yeah, and there are just some ideas where you need to sketch them out, draw them out.
You don't have to type.
You don't have to always type them out. All right, thank you very much, Raul.
Right, thanks.
Great little insight there. Let's move on to Merly here. All right, Merly, what is since we were talking about Eureka moments here, what is the Eureka moment all about for you? How does that define that?
Actually, in what month? In this job, like we're always like trying to think of that big
The
idea.
next big idea.
Yeah, like when I'm in Starbucks, for example, and I eavesdrop. I like listening to how people talk,
Right.
and then eventually that becomes a script. And then I used to say, I notice a lot of people use the word actually.
Yes,
Five
actually.
times in a sentence. So I like that. So in the next script, I can put actually like 15 times, in the script. You get things, you get ideas from different people. So when you listen, I also observe a lot on how people dress. So I always tell people that, I'm sorry, OFWs don't wear maong on maong anymore.
Okay.
So when in the airport, I look at how they dress. So all of these are ideas. It's not at all advertising. So it's like you're a sponge and you
Okay.
get all of this, and eventually it will come out in the next ad, in the next script, in the next song. So I like that.
Right, and I'm sure you may be a sponge, but you need to have some kind of a repository for these observations, for these observations that you make. What's the first thing you reach for when you have one of those Eureka moments? Parang, wow, actually, uso pala ang actually ngayon. Actually, I need to get or I need to actually get my what? How do you make note on what people on the observations you are making, and how do you remember these things?
Yeah, with or without gadgets, I've always been someone who gets a pen and write on anything.
Right.
So eventually I lose those things. Like I get the next napkin, I get the next receipt, parking receipt. Then I try to write all of this so I remember, because my memory is pretty bad. So it's probably a security thing that I wrote it somewhere. Maybe hoping that I will remember
That it
it
will
someday.
help
But
remember.
eventually it gets lost in my bag. You see how humongous my bag is. So it gets lost. So I'm really that. No creative is organized, I believe. So, somehow it gets lost. You see our desk, it's like
That's the
piles and
excuse of
piles.
all creative people.
Yeah, it's organized chaos. So I reach out for a pen, a pencil, even borrow from a waiter, and I write it. So it's so that I remember.
Okay.
So
am I correct in guessing that the S Pen
The
feature is
S-
also sort of a
the S-
standout for you?
Yeah, the S memo is something hopefully that will remind me. When I look at it, it's just a typical phone. But when they told me that there was a pen and there was an S memo, and I tried it, I doodled on it, I wrote on it. It's something I can't do it on any other phone. So hopefully that turns into my napkin and my parking ticket.
Okay. Now we were having lunch together earlier, and you were talking about. I know Merly is a big fan of keeping herself entertained with her phone. Okay. Do you find that the Galaxy Note is able to do that? I mean, you were talking about games that you were looking for, things to while away the time, and things to just sort of take a break from the pressure of the daily grind.
You know what these gadgets do to you? You become impatient. You can't wait for the next order to come. You can't wait for the elevator to open. So during these dead moments, I like to, do something like a game, or naiwanan lang ako ng elevator twice kasi hindi pa tapos.
Okay.
So, you tend to do things like put in those little moments of wait. You hate waiting in the bank, in the ATM. We wait a lot during the day, count it. So, wait for the driver, you wait for your boss, everything. So you try to fill up those waiting moments with things, and you can't leave these things because the games are there, the doodle that I can do now. My next work order is to write some lyrics for a jingle, and I can do it now, or a letter to some of the judges I have to thank. So I'm forever doing that now. So no more waiting moments for me.
Okay. Well, let's say for example you're waiting right now, and you had to. We're gonna test your just how quick you are here. Give it. Are you on Twitter? Yes. Say so. You're familiar, obviously, with the 145 character format. I've got a funny question here for you that they want me to ask you. Say you had to come up. This is the pitch. Why being the other woman is more advantageous? Tweet mo nga, what if you had to come up with a really quick message?
I heard it. Ang daming advantage. I'm married with 4 kids. Ang daming
This is a
advantage.
purely hypothetical
Dapat
question,
nga,
of course.
advantageous the married woman eh.
Okay. Oh, let's get it. Sige, why not?
Diba? Well, kasi umuwi naman sa'yo.
Okay.
Ano magandang line doon? The advantage, ang dami-dami. But you know, the advantage of an other woman, this is not gonna be airing anyway, right?
What happens in cab stays in
Siguro may
cab, right?
tutut na lalabas mo. Siyempre, better sex.
Aha!
Diba?
Aha!
Better sex. And I always say this, you know, it's coming from advertising, the favorite line ever for me is the promo line that you always hear in any promos. The more entries you have, the more chances of winning.
That's right. The phone doesn't come with a vibra mode for nothing, you know.
But that's another feature you can have.
All right, cool. Thanks so much for having a bit of fun with us there. All right, we're moving on to Lei, who has been busily doodling on her little galaxy. Now, show us what you got there. What did you come up with while you were away? Wow! Look at that! Look at that! Huh? You guys want a copy? She can share it with you right here, right now. Whatever you want. Bluetooth, email, you know, put it on a tweet. Okay, you gotta save it first. All right, now we were having lunch over there earlier, and they was already busy sketching away. And it's a great little sketch you've done there. What would you say is there any food that you eat that's more conducive to being creative? What's the best food to eat before a brainstorm session? What's brain food? Okay. That's the magic ingredient for you.
Yeah, I think he is it.
All right. It seems like
God,
he
it's
is.
so boring. Maybe I should have said something like, oh, kumakain ako ng bubog.
Yun.
Para naman mas
On the
creative,
side of the
no,
tea.
it's tea.
All right. Now it sounds like you're the type of person who is able to keep calm, you know, in the eye of the storm, so to speak, or you are the calm in the eye of the storm. The way the business works today is a whirlwind of activity, and you have to find your peace somehow, somewhere. Maybe tea is the way you do that. But is there other ways that you can share where you can slow things down? I mean, things move at lightning fast pace. How do you slow things down?
I think it's important to be very firm about how you spend your time. Otherwise, people will keep using it up. So I do 2 things. One is something called, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pomodoro.
Okay.
It's a time management technique where you have a little timer beside
Are you
you
guys taking notes?
and you just keep working on one thing for 20 minutes at a time.
Okay.
So that's what I do. It's not exactly slowing down, but it's just making sure that I actually get something done.
Okay, that's cool. All right, we don't have 20 minutes to spare right now while we work on this particular question, but I wanted to ask you, being a creative type, sort of more closely related to words and such. If there was a language that you could come up with, the same way that there's Jejemon or Bekimon or such, is there such a thing as I don't know, Ahenshamon, or what is the language of agencies now? What's it called? What's a language that you could coin from the way life is lived nowadays?
Wouldn't it be funny if we actually spoke the way we texted people, or if there were actual words for smileys?
Okay.
No, because
Expound.
No, actually,
Let's take that raw idea and develop it and craft it as Rose said.
So I read somewhere today that if people winked as often in real life as they did when typing a message, you know, like, hi, Wink, how are you, Wink?
Yeah, right.
Di ba,
How about
we
you?
all look like we have nervous tics. Diba?
Right,
Oh,
right.
kamusta na, Wink? then, oh, kaya kita-kita tayo mamaya, wink, wink. So maybe, what if that were the language? Let's call it wink. And then every time you put a smiley when you're texting, you're actually doing it in real life.
Nice.
Really funny
That's a great idea. I can see Merly making note of that idea now. She's absorbing and sponging all those ideas. Well, I want to say thank you so much to you guys for taking time out from the busy schedules that you guys keep. Thank you so much for sharing with us a little bit of an insight on how you guys live your lives and how the Galaxy Note has made your everyday life inside and out of the office better. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
How about a big round of applause for some of the most creative people in the industry nowadays? All right, folks, you've just witnessed today's great minds in advertising, and I think the Samsung Galaxy Note has really played a crucial role in translating some of the great ideas that they've talked about here today, and we can see just how that creative process works. All right, so now we'd like for you guys to be able to experience some of that. So we're going to be raffling off a special prize. 2